And we are live. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I have an interview with the Knowledge, Spencer Farron. He is coming on shortly. I just wanted to touch bases with you guys before we get too late past the original date set. We were going to start a little later, but we decided to go earlier because of the time difference in the UK, because you know they are 6 to 5 hours ahead of us. So we're waiting for him to come on, but I hope everybody is doing well. Shouts out to everybody on the chat as of right now. Shouts out to the people that were on the chat earlier. I seen you guys. So we are going to crack this wide open with the Knowledge himself as he comes on. And we have a lot to talk about. So whatever we're going to discuss, we can ask the questions that went down in the particular interview with Mark Breland. Everything in camp that Mark Breland discussed. All types of things. Chris Serrano, I see you, brother. What's up? Counterpunch to you. Max Waller. What's up, brother? Yo, yo, yo. So we are in this thing waiting for Spence to come on. Hope everybody is well. We are completely iced the hell in. Daniel Cartridge. What's up, brother? Counterpunch. Paul Smith. Counterpunch. Kurt bringing us the fire. You damn right. Fire and finesse. Keeb, 1984. What up, Kurt? Counterpunch. Love your channel, man. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Keeb, 1984. That was a good year. Yeah, it was a very good year. But Martin Walker, keep up the good work. Love your videos, class. Appreciate you, brother. Paul Smith, much respect. Best in the world. Thank you, brother. Alan Clark, Scotland in the houses. Daniel Cartridge, interview with Big Dean was fire. Appreciate you, man. You know, insight is what we need. We need insight, intel, because that builds our interest, right? So, you know, I think that when you get down to the bottom of the nitty gritty, eventually, like I told you guys, the truth will come to the light. I hope you guys checked out the video I just dropped on the counterpunch from Mark Breland's son. So, you know, Anthony Breland, you know, and he had a lot to say about that because, of course, he's defending his father. And I got another volume to drop later on, of course, after this particular interview that we're going to conduct here. Big Daddy Cox, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Ice storm it. Yeah. Hey, it's sunny outside. It looks beautiful. If you go out there, you get blinded from the reflection. So, and it's definitely not usual. Dave, Forinstall, you are the tops, Kurt. Very fair and informative. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Great channel from Chris England. Chris Chapman, counterpunch to you, brother. Joseph Ajayi, counterpunch. Shout out to CPN. Blessings from Ireland. Ireland in the building. That's what's up, man. You need to be on TV doing boxing analyst. You're that good, always impartial and keep it real. Simon Brandy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. You know, one step at a time. One step at a time. Robert Sorensen. Counterpunch is a great moniker for CBN. Nice. Phil Larkin. Love your videos. Keep it up. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Let's see. Anthony Breland, great channel, bro. Appreciate you reacting to the video. Appreciate you, Anthony Breland. Appreciate you. It was a good, informative video. You know, we have actually the son of Mark Breland. You know, if you are the son of Mark Breland, appreciate you, man. It was a great and informative interview. And see, pretty soon the truth is going to come to the light. You know, if you are, if you're not, you know what I mean? If you are the Anthony Breland, you were a great representative for your father, because not everyone really has the energy to do that type of stuff. A lot of people, the older you get, the more you're like, you know what? I'd rather not. But that doesn't stop anyone closer to that person from doing so. You know, that's why I brought Tay Jones on the show, because Tay Jones was the one that was capping and representing his friend Deontay. So we brought him on the show. And if you're available, man, we could do that. Anthony Breland, we can do that. So it's up to you, man. We can chop it up, because again, we're in a damn ice storm. So the only thing we can do is counterpunch on this channel. I don't know if you heard of this channel, but that's what we do. We counterpunch, man. We get down to the bottom of it. It's not a yay or nay channel. This is not a Matchroom versus ESPN versus PBC. It is boxing. I support all of it. You know, so if you don't support boxing, just don't come here. You know what I mean? Don't come here, because it's one of these things where it's like, I remember when Al Heyman was starting Premier Boxing Champions, and a lot of people were hating on that. Like Oscar De La Hoya, he tried to have a lawsuit against Al Heyman because Al Heyman wanted to do something ingenious by putting it on free TV. And everybody was like, what? We can't have that shit. So they tried to sue Al Heyman. Soulier. Tay Jones has gone silent since the audio clip of Wilder surfaced. You know, I haven't heard from him, because normally he would call or something like that, and I haven't heard from him at all. So, you know, I don't know where he's been, but I'm sure that he will resurface at some point or another. So, yeah, we could definitely chop it up, man. That would be great. That would be great. I think that whenever you want to do it, I'm available. I got a collab with Lady Sean on her channel, probably like at 2. So I think that would be good, man. That would be really good. Kurt, I've been a boxing aficionado for over 60 years, and you keep us up to date and full of promise for the future. Robert, appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Fury Joshua ain't happening. You know, I'm the guy, I got a lot of relatives from Missouri. And one thing I learned from Missouri is their motto is show me. So it's like, show me. You know, it's one of those things where if you're going to do something, do it. You know, but one thing I'm not against the fight, because I hear people are boycotting it. They don't want it. They don't want to see it. Everybody wants to see an undisputed heavyweight fight. Why not? You know what I mean? Those guys are never fought. We've heard the stories about sparring and all this, that, and the other. So that's what it is. Hold on a second. I'm just hearing from Spence. Let me re-email him the info real quick. Hang on a second, guys. Reloading. All right, let's go here. All right. And we are back. I just had to re-email to bring the knowledge on so we can talk about what happened and what went down in the interview with Mark Breland. Today I'm busy, but I'm good tomorrow if that's cool with you. You got it. My Instagram is DeVille Kurt. Anthony, just send it to me that way. Inbox me, and we can chop it up from there any time because, again, I don't think we're filming tomorrow at all. Looking at this shit, I doubt it. So, yeah, we could definitely do it tomorrow. But definitely inbox me, man, and be glad to bring you on. Counterpunch to you, Kurt. Kia Ora from NZ. Love your work. Let's get them likes up. I don't know what the likes look like on StreamYard, but hey, let's get them up. You know. Morehouse. You know, I have checked you out. Send it to me again, just for shits and giggles. What's up, my brother? Massive respect to the knowledge. Lee Campbell, counterpunch to you. Yes, G. Kurt, just come in. Been a busy day, bro. Tony Lyons. Peace and greetings from the Netherlands. Shaka XL, counterpunch to you. Trust me, Fury Joshua going to be the next fight for both. Okay, well, why do LDBC channels spread lies? Well, I mean, maybe the truth is not good enough, I guess. I mean, the truth will do all the time. I mean, that's what my mom taught me. You know, I mean, when people lie when the truth will do, I think the truth is not enough for them. You know, a lot of people they can't handle the truth. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, I don't know what really else to say about that. But no, that's a very good question. This goes out to Anthony Breland. Did you see the same Yahoo Sports, Kevin? Is it Iole, right? Iole article. It's from 2 days after the loss, and he's already talking about potential firing your dad for throwing in the towel. You know, that was a lot of thrown around misinformation that we'll definitely talk about. You need to get to the UK, brother. You love the fight night here. Yeah, man, if the pandemic will ever end, you know what I mean? If it will ever end. So it is what it is. Andre Rodriguez. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yeah, that's it. You know, gotta go throwback like old Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. So the wait is over. We have Spencer Farron in the backdrop, people. So we're going to start this live stream.
How you doing, brother?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How you been? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Even better for speaking to you, my friend.
Nice, man. Nice. It's glad to have you on, man. We got a full house. We're live, so we got people with a lot of questions. You know, it was a groundbreaking interview, by the way. So shouts out to you and Tunde for conducting the interview.
Thank you.
You know, I'm glad you actually both of you gave the accolades to Mark Breland, because a lot of people don't know Mark Breland that hasn't been watching boxing that long to know his accomplishments and the things that he's done to be credible for a trainer and a fighter.
Okay. It depends where you want to start. So it's like there are people going like they know what Mark Breland has done or all the rest of it. No, Mark Breland was an exceptional amateur fighter, and for a professional fighter, as an amateur fighter, he graced the cover of the Ring magazine, and there haven't been many guys to ever do that. Teofimo Stevenson, the famed Cuban,
right?
He graced the front page of the Ring magazine, and I've forgotten the other person. But Mark Breland was like that's a great accomplishment. You never even turned professional yet, so we need to give Mark Breland all the credit in the world and all the dues in the world, and he has accomplished a lot in the past. But what I noticed is like I was on the Boxing Voice. I was on that earlier today, and next to those guys, like we're speaking about boxing history and that, and I'm not even going far. I'm going back to the 70s, and I'm not disrespecting them, but I'm saying this is what I have to put up with. Not I'm talking about nobody else. What I have to put up with is like when you want to speak boxing to me, I'm going right back to the beginning of the beginning. I'm not going right. I've noticed you speak to young cats and they think like 1986 was a long time ago. It wasn't a long time ago. Do you know what I mean? Right. Like I go 40 years prior to that and go back to 1946, and then those guys are like, "Wow, you know." So no. It's like if I'm involved in something, I'm passionate about this. I'm very passionate about this sport. I'm going to be on this thing till I'm on this thing. It's not like just for the sake of it. But I was speaking about Jose Napoles, who was the former world welterweight champion, and I'm saying like you could lose a fight at the tail end of your career. The person who beats you does not make them a great. It doesn't make him a great. It just means that you were older. You lost to him. Simple as that. Unless you go on after that and do great things, right? Manny Pacquiao beat an old Oscar De La Hoya, but look at the accomplishments of what Manny Pacquiao did after that. Then we got to say, well, that's great. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, if we want to talk boxing with me, talk correct. Too many of these newbie guys now are gonna like it's a thing like, oh, let's try and challenge. You can't challenge me. You know what I mean? And I debunk any questions that they're trying to throw at me. You can't challenge me on this thing.
Yeah, and they were just dumbfounded by the info, the knowledge that you were giving them. And it happens, though. It happens when people start watching boxing 10 years ago and think they know.
That's what I'm saying to these guys. Right. Name me a thing inside the sport that I haven't done. I box amateur, right? Representing the capital in that, won championships as an amateur. Boxer professional, was in the BBC Fight of the Year in 2003. Retired from being pro. I was the first man ever to get managers, trainers, and promoters license in Great Britain. It was never done before me. I was the first person to ever do that. Right? Go talk to the guys now who are promoting. They're saying, yeah, because go Google Hard Knocks boxing. When we was doing Hard Knocks, we were tearing up things. And at that time there, yeah, Cliff Bailey. Yeah, that's right. Listen, no, I'm just keeping it 100. Ness and these guys, don't try and chat to me on this sport. I don't feel like me and you are on the same level. We're not on the same level. I'm not even saying it to be boastful. I'm not on the same level as these guys. These guys who are passionate about it, they're passionate from last week. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? Yeah. That's like I'm saying I love hip hop, and we say how far are you gonna go back with hip hop? And I'm saying, well, back in the day when we had Biggie and Little Kim, brother, are you for real?
Yeah, that's not back in the day.
Right. This is what I'm trying to say. Paul Young, I'll answer that question. Paul Young saying Terry Norris beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Ain't he great? You're not listening to what I said, Paul Young. And this is why I know you're Paul Young and not Paul Old, because if you was old, you would listen. I said when you beat a man who is a great, right? Just like, what was that? That was I'm sure it was in February or March of 1991 and that was in Madison Square Gardens when Sugar Ray Leonard got beat by Terry Norris, and he gets dropped in the 11th round. Sorry, in the 11th and in the 4th round he gets dropped. Right? It's me you're talking to, right? Ray Leonard at that time was done as a fighter, but regardless that he was done, Terry Norris, yes, he did go on, because I'm saying the things that he did after that. You can't just beat, if somebody else beat Sugar Ray Leonard, just for instance, if somebody like, I don't know, just call it anybody's name, somebody else beat Ray Leonard but never went on to do great things, then you're not great. Yes, Terry Norris is a great of the division because of the things that he did after beating Ray Leonard. Because after he beat Ray Leonard, he had a very, very good run until he ran into a guy called Simon Brown, and Simon Brown knocked him out. Then he beat Simon Brown comprehensively in a rematch. But that's another day. That's another story for another day.
Right. Well, just like Hector Camacho beat Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
but the thing about it is this: Hector Camacho is still up there. You got to give him his dues. But he's not greater than Ray Leonard.
Right.
Okay.
They're just a younger guy fighting an older guy.
Yeah.
You know, and that fight really, personally, it shouldn't have happened.
No, it shouldn't have happened. And I don't even want to reflect on that too much because that fight should not have happened at all. That was an old 40-year-old Ray Leonard. It was disgusting. And I'll say to anyone, if you a really good book, it's what's it, The Big Fight, Ray Leonard's autobiography, read that book. And Ray Leonard said prior to him fighting Hector Camacho, he got floored in sparring by a little 18-year-old kid. So I don't, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Well, the 18-year-old kid should have shown him that warning, it comes before a disaster. The warning, you know, he should have, you know, hey, let me stop that. He already had a Regner problem. And he had that before the Hagler fight. So that was, you know what I mean? So he shouldn't have been, he had war wounds. He had wars with Duran, Motor City Cobra. You know, he had these wars, and that reflected why he shouldn't have been in the ring. He shouldn't have been in the ring with Hector Camacho. If you're going to get knocked, what was the 18-year-old? You're going to get dropped. I don't know the 18-year-old, but if you're going to get dropped by him, knowledge would tell you the knowledge. He should have been in.
Should have been there. But that's another day. Leonard's still one of my favorite fighters of all time. I love Sugar Leonard in particular, but he shouldn't have been in that fight. But yeah, anyway, what's cracking?
Man, the interview is what I want to discuss because I'm just really making it back to the States. So I couldn't do much. I didn't want to be like last time and, you know, because the internet wasn't up to par. So I wanted to do it right. A lot of groundbreaking stuff that transpired, like the training camp, how it was ran. And it was basically a tell-all, but the thing is, it was almost that you guys asked him questions, and I heard that you were like, hey, feel free if you don't want to answer any questions, feel free.
No, I'm going to tell you what really happened. What really happened was this. I reached out to Mark Breland. I was working with a fighter years ago who I used to train, but who used to train with Mark Breland. And when I went out to New York in 2007, when I went to New York, I spent a little time with Mark Breland and everything. I was a really nice guy, accommodating guy. I was more to the fact of like, right, you're Mark Breland. You know what I mean? And yeah, you did. You kind of broke my heart a little bit when you beat Lloyd Hannigan. But Lloyd Hannigan was done then, but you can't really tell an old fighter that. And anyway, so I reached out to Mark Breland. I said, Mark, you know what I mean? Do you want to come on the show? And then it was like, my apologies for me not getting back to you sooner, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'd love to do the show. Now, so I phoned him up. He sends me his phone number. Well, but now I know that it was actually his son, Anthony, that sent me his phone number, right? So I got to big up his son, Anthony Breland, right? He sent me his phone number. But it's more to the fact, like, last year, when all of the kerfuffle with the Deontay Wilder thing, I actually defended Mark Breland, but that went viral. All of that went viral about him not being allowed in the changing room and how he's being treated. And I said I would have liked to see Deontay Wilder fix up and all the rest of it. So his son saw that, and even though I'm an MTK Global affiliate, because I run their foundation. It's a foundation. Yeah. It is not a charity. I want people. There's a big difference, right? We're not registered as a charity. The foundation comes off of is one of the legs of MTK Global, the entity. So he reaches out to me. He said, "Yeah, we'll do the interview." So in the morning that I'm meant to do the interview, UK time, I get a phone call from Mark Breland. I'm saying, right, everything good for us to go in a few hours, And Mark said, hey, we may not be able to do it because I got my lawyer here, have a word with my lawyer. So his lawyer jumped on the phone.
Okay.
Right? Nice lady. No, nice lady. Very, very nice lady. And we talk, and then she's saying like, yeah, I've checked out your stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sending her more stuff. I'm saying our channel is really growing right now. We've just done 3 million views. So I send her over my stuff. She said, no, I know who you are. It's cool. But on one condition, you can't really speak about the Deontay Wilder. I said, I understand, because for me, I'm old school. I'll talk about your career and everything you've done. I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when that was said, I was saying, okay, but we go on super chats as well. And when it's on super chats, people are going to ask questions. And I ain't going to take liberty with someone paying the money to ask a question. But if they do mention Deontay Wilder, I swear on my children's life, I said to Mark Breland, just say you wish Deontay Wilder all the best and leave it at that. Right? Because I know it's like in America, on certain sections of America, people really think that I must hate Deontay Wilder. I will say on Counterpunch Boxing with my guy, Kurt DeVille, I have nothing but love and admiration for Deontay Wilder. But what I don't like is the fact that he's got a bag of yes men around him. And that's what it seems to me. Right?
Right.
And it's like some groupie business. I'm not into it. Do you know what I mean? I don't do groupie. Let me tell you this. I don't bow to money because money's not my God. God's my God, number one. And number two, me and Anthony Joshua are really cool. Anthony Joshua has way more money than Deontay Wilder. And I don't do this beggy thing around Anthony Joshua. I've known Anthony Joshua since he's been a young man, growing up, before he even turned professional. So these things are very, very important to me. So she turned around and said, oh, you can't ask these questions, but it's cool. She said there's been a couple of people who have defended him. Did you see who's defended Mark? People like Antonio Otava. I said, I know Antonio Otava very, very well. You know what I mean? Right? I know him very well. And you know what? It's cool. Ring Antonio Otava for him to validate me. She said, no, I don't have Antonio Otava's number. I said, well, I do. I mean, I've got everyone in my black book. So I said, oh, you can phone me. She said, no, we don't need none of that. We're cool to do the interview. Mark Breland comes and does the interview. At the time when they've turned around and said, we can't ask questions about Deontay Wilder, I was cool with that, right?
Okay.
I was cool with it. I have a producer called Gary, who produces Gary Blake, who produces Price of the Fighters, right? And Tundi Ajayi, my brother from another mother. I send in our WhatsApp group, I send a message. Tundi didn't see the message. And I'm going to be real, I'm glad that he didn't see the message because Tundi asked the question, right? And he didn't ask in a smug way. He asked a question about that, right? Nobody didn't put a gun to Mark Breland's head and say the things you want to go say, right? Obviously, Mark Breland's feeling aggrieved. And he just made it blur. He splurted out everything and said what he had to go and say. And off of that, I can't knock Mark Breland for saying what he had to say. I'm not knocking him. Him turning around saying that Deontay Wilder don't train. I was trying to show him things, but he weren't listening. Did we put a gun to his head and say that? No, we never. Did we turn around and say that? Oh well, did we put a gun to Mark Breland's head and say, Mark Breland, tell us that you could have beaten all of Deontay Wilder's opponents? We didn't do that. Right, Mark Breland said what he said. And the thing was upsetting for me. It's like when he come back on his statement, which I know he didn't write. On his statement they put on his Instagram, he was saying like, oh, I did an interview with these guys and they couldn't wait to put it out. It was live. Just like we're doing right now. We're doing a live right now. So what I say right now, I can't take it back because someone could be recording this right now in the house. You know what I mean? On the screen recorder and they're hearing everything else. Exactly. So don't take back those kind of things because so I had to send Mark Breland a message. He said, that's all love. I said, bro, we showed you nothing but respect because I know like guys from the Lions Den boxing community were having a go saying, nah, you should have really stuck it on him and you should have said no because now they're going to understand the rules. We weren't allowed to. Right. And I was cool to speak about Mark Breland's career. And that's the truth. Right? Right. I just Deontay Wilder stuff. He touched on it. And he was being this about talking about the drug allegations and all the rest. He was like, Now you and I both know, Kurt, how many excuses has Deontay Wilder made?
Too many.
How many? Name them.
Oh shit.
Heavy. Huh?
Yeah, that's the first.
Suit being too heavy. Yep. Next one.
Which one? Okay, suit being too heavy. Possible drugs because that was the second one and that cleared.
Mark Breland drugged him. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Mark Breland drugged him. Okay. Yep. What else?
Glovegate.
Oh yeah, well Glovegate, but that was the first fight, which a lot of people don't understand. That was the first fight. Glovegate was based on the first fight.
Okay. All right. What's the other excuse?
Referee.
The referee.
Right. Crabs in a barrel.
Kenny Bayless was the referee.
Yeah, crabs in a barrel.
Right. Right. It was a good referee.
Yeah.
Right.
No, he took a point from Fury to disguise his racism, and prejudice, and coonism.
Right. But you see what I'm trying to say? What's the next one? It's too many. So therefore,
whoa. Glovegate 2. That's 5. That's 5. See, Glovegate 2.0. That's 5. What else? Then the attack on Fury himself. See, there was more to it. Then you had the character. So it was the character assassination with Martin Carefoot with the wild boar goat penis.
What?
that came.
What happened there?
Wild boar.
It
happened 5 years ago. 5 years ago, this farmer comes forth all of a sudden.
Like they had the other day.
What's that?
What's that got to do with the fight they had the other day with Deontay Wilder?
It did not. But right. I mean, try to explain somebody that.
Right.
That,
exactly.
You know.
So I'm saying, like, spare me that nonsense. But it is what it is.
Right. Because I mean, the drug, yeah. I mean,
what I'm saying is I'm very grateful that Mark Breland did his first ever exclusive interview after a year of being oystered. And if you remember, last year, February, I said that Mark Breland was being sacked. And Deontay Wilder's camp vehemently denied it. No, it's not true. And then what happened?
Shelly
8 months later, they sack him. So,
yeah.
Look at that. So I'm talking in the future, even when I'm reminiscing, my friend.
Right. Yeah, I remember that because, I mean, we covered it all. We was there.
Right.
We said he was fired, and Shelly Finkel said, no, he's not fired. So he's not fired then.
Okay.
You know, so then I was told by Tay Jones that he was fired. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. You said that they fired him that night. Then Shelly Finkel said something that contradicts what you said. So what's up with that?
Spare me this nonsense, man. It is the game. It is what it is. But yeah.
So yeah, to answer our question, a lot of excuses. It was a lot of excuses. So I'm glad I know now everything involved because I didn't know that. See, Tunde, he didn't know, so he asked. But again, he didn't have to answer.
Exactly.
But he wanted to. You know why? Because he had to. He had to.
He's just fed up. And I see. Listen, man. If I know that somebody's got allegations against me, I'm defending myself. Even if people told me just keep your mouth shut, I just know what I'm like. I'm gonna defend myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's true. It's just evil. Says something when many of these people, including Shelly Finkel, say nothing for a year, still not said anything for a year. Wilder only does interviews with pro-Wilder channels, no matter how small, obscure they are. Well, I mean,
I'm not knocking Deontay Wilder for bigging up your mates and giving stuff to your mates. I ain't knocking you for that, because that's what you're meant to do, right?
Right.
That's what you're meant to do. Because in saying that, Mark Breland chose to, well, his son chose for his dad to come on our channel, and our channel is relatively new, right? Relatively new.
Right.
But I'm grateful because it reverberated around the world. But it is, I'm not Deontay Wilder bashing. I'm being real. I think Deontay Wilder has accomplished a hell of a lot on limited ability, but a lot of athleticism. I think he's very, very athletic, but I think he's got limited boxing ability. And that's the truth. And the reason why he's got limited boxing ability is because he believes so much in his punching power. And like I alluded to history, 1974, October, when George Foreman got beat in the 8th round by Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, Africa.
Yeah.
Right? George Foreman was being trained by Dick Sadler. Dick Sadler was the brother of Sandy Sadler, one of the greatest featherweights of all time, who famously beat Willie Pep, who goes down in history as the greatest featherweight of all time. But he beat Willie Pep 3 out of 4 times. His brother, Dick Sadler, was training George Foreman. George Foreman, because he knew all I got to do is touch guys on the chin and they're gone. What happens is you stop working on the art, on the trade. You stop that because you think, all I've got to do is touch this guy. Let me just be relatively fit and let's go out there throwing shots and I'll knock these guys out. And that's what happened. That's what happened with him, and he got beat by Ali. And when he got beat by Ali, do you know what his first excuse was? Dick Sadler poisoned me.
Yep. So, I mean, Wilder ain't alone. That's what I've been telling people. He's not alone. Remember his
so that's
dog.
all to do with the mentality of guys who have things their own way so much, and you are surrounded by gasmen. Simple as that.
Now, think of this. His dog was sick. Remember that? My dog always comes with me, but my dog gets sick. Ali, Boombaye. Don't they see I'm a black man too? So these things were, I mean, a lot of those were actually intertwined with the mind games of Ali, you know, credit to him. But when he lost, yeah, he was poisoned. He said a lot of things. He admitted it. He was in defense of Wilder. Look, Wilder's not alone. He's not the only person that did that. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't, but it's what it is.
Milton Jeff, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Will Wilder fight another top elite fighter?
Yeah, but you're saying top elite fighter. Who are the top? Let me tell you this. There's a couple good fighters coming up on the horizon right now, right? But hopefully Dylan White is successful next month, and I would love to see Dylan White. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Dylan White versus Deontay Wilder.
That would be a great fight. I think that's a fight we need to see because Dillian White has fought his way to where he's at. You know, nicks, bruises, bumps. He's made it there. He's still there. He just got in there with a brawl and did something against a guy he shouldn't have done. But this is boxing. It's heavyweight boxing. It happens. I want to see that fight, though, man. DW versus DW. I've been promoting that fight, and a lot of people come on here. If I don't kiss ass, I'm a hater. If I don't kiss ass, I'm a hater.
Come on. Listen, that's how it goes. Don't worry about it.
Well, okay, Wayne Fitness, have you seen the barbershop video about you, Spencer?
The guy's always making me. The guy's obsessed by me, man. I can't pay him no mind. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is this. I actually haven't seen it, but other guys have, but we find those things humorous. Now, check this one out, right? I sent him a message because he said that the interview that we did with Deontay Wilder was whack. So he made a video saying the worst interview ever and blah, blah, blah. So he was upset because Tundi don't play. Tundi just stuck it on him and said he's an idiot, right?
Right.
Now, barbershop conversation, you're bored. Anyway, so Tundi stuck it on him and I sent him a message and I've got it on my phone right now. So he's lying when he's talking because you see the truth, know the truth and it shall set you free, right?
That's it, bro.
So he's there saying
counterpunch.
Right, here we go. Right. So you know what he was upset by? Because I refused to go on his show. Because I'm saying your channel's dead. What am I going on your channel for? You know what I mean? Right. So I don't know if you can see that there. You can see that
right there.
Or is it coming out?
It can focus. There you go. You're more than welcome to express. Yeah, it kind of got your reflection by then, but
anyway, right. He goes.
Yeah, you can read it out.
Can you see that? Can you see it? Yeah. Right, read that.
And okay, if you're more than welcome to, express your opposition of me on my platform anytime. No, brother, you keep doing, brother, and I'll continue to promote the Black community. Go back a little bit. Yeah, because you got your reflection in there.
Sorry, bro.
It's all right. All right.
No, you have to read this because I just want to show this guy's a liar.
Okay. Nah, brother, you keep doing you, brother, and I will continue to promote the Black community, starting with raising my Black family, continuing of God, who is the Black female. No one comes before her, and my beautiful Black children. LOL.
Right. No, he put LOL. Now check this one out now, right? Now I'm glad that you read that, right? Because I didn't say he's putting a thing like, class said that your interview was whack and blah. No, I responded back to you on the thing. I said, brother, what you're doing, you could be you could be seen as a hater, right? And then he came back and responded, and I'm saying, obviously, you're showing me that you're a hater then. So I didn't come to him with no, right?
Right.
Because you're irrelevant on a bigger scope of things. You're irrelevant, right? So he's there now, shooting off his mouth. So I just turned to him and said, listen, bro, end of the day, I didn't even know that his wife wasn't black. I didn't know this, right?
Right.
I didn't know. But I've noticed how he's been vehemently coming after me since that comment, because your wife isn't black and you're feeling aggrieved by it, because this is how ludicrous and not, this is what I'm saying, how hypocritical you are, that you want to talk all this blackness and all the rest of it, but your wife's not black. You can marry whoever you want to marry, be cool with it, be accepting of it. Obviously, you must have some form of mental illness while you behave in the way that you behave. But I know this already because I've been listening to T Street's conversation, T Street's, what's the kid's name? T Street something.
Yeah, T Street.
Yeah, controversy. He's always gunning you. So this is the thing. I can't be bothered in that. And what are you trying to say? Oh, well, you called Daniel Kinahan the Messiah of boxing. Yeah, I did call him the Messiah of boxing. But it was tongue in cheek. I was actually joking to wind up people, because this guy, Daniel Kinahan, is a beautiful guy who gets a lot of stick at this present moment. Right. So it is what it is. And now it's like, oh, yeah, man. It's Spencer Farron, the agent. It's Spencer. And now, because of this, he's going to make even more videos. But it doesn't matter, because water for ducks back. Because he likes to talk about what he's got from what he doesn't. When a man has to talk about what he's got, you ain't got nothing.
Right.
Period.
I
want you to know that. You know what I mean? And I can tell he has some other guys on there that's trying to debate, oh, maybe because he's Jamaican and they disassociate with the black struggle. Are you stupid? Do you know what I stand for? Do you know this? Do you know when I was the one that got up and complained about the lack of diversity inside certain media groups till they changed it? I started that. You know what I mean? And I'm no longer in those establishments, but it's all good because I'm doing my thing for ESPN. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing with The Fight Is Right, and I'm doing my thing with MTK Global Foundation. That is it.
That's it. You know, it's
enough of these negative guys, because they don't know me. And also, a lot of people don't really get my humor. They don't get it. You know what I mean? They really haven't got a clue. But it's all right. It doesn't matter. People know me, though. And the people who don't know me, you're irrelevant.
Well, here's the counterpunch, Spencer. The interview was whack, but then he wants you on the platform.
Really?
But it's whack though. Not.
But the thing about this, nobody could get it. So how come you didn't get it? You know what I mean? All the rest of them, you couldn't get it.
Right. So I mean, it's groundbreaking, and I mean, that's just haterade, man. You know, you don't piss on a guy's interview and then secretly
people entertained. Give me not even 10 minutes because I've got to say prayers with my kids because they're going to bed. All right? I'm jumping right back. Just keep your people entertained, and I'll be back in a minute.
You got it, man. Until then, we'll see you in a little bit. Guys, fire stuff. The Shaka XL. Why hasn't JB's been interviewed yet? The water and the gloves was his responsibility. Look, that's one of the most powerful questions that anybody could ever ask, okay? He's taking an intermission. He'll be right back, but we're still here. We're still grounded, you know, and look, it's just showing that someone like that can't be touched. They know too much. They have too much experience in the game. That's why he's the knowledge, because people pretend to know what he does know. And it's not bragging. He's just like, hey, it is what it is. I know this. No, that didn't happen. This happened. That will come to the light soon. It will. It would have to. It will have to. And then this is what I don't want for Wilder. Okay. Let me say this. I don't want, because obviously at this point you have all these excuses. You have all these accusations. You have all this stuff, all these distractions. What I don't want is when people rip this open, I don't want him so buried by the truth that he's too, what's the word? Too affected by the truth not to come forth. Because a lot of times when someone tells a lie or they've made a lot of excuses and then we find out those excuses are actually BS, what happens is people go into hiding. Okay, people go into hiding. Like Like my man Tay Jones. We've heard a lot of things that contradict the interview. The interview is on my other channel because they shut my channel down knowing that I was going to get that interview. That's the facts. The channel was getting too big, so they were like, you know what? Because I did an interview saying that I'm going to do an interview with him. And then a day later, my channel goes, boom. Then I'm getting hit with copyright strikes from 3 different channels associated with the Wilders. Right? So it's one of those things where when I did get a hold, I had to actually build the channel, a new channel, make a new channel up, and to have some type of platform, which originally is still not my platform because it's a fresh platform. So I had to get all that up in there. I didn't sleep for like 2 days to make sure that these guys wouldn't stop me. And what do I see? Right? The same day that I made my new platform, Boxing Ego had Tay Jones on his show, which I was supposed to have that Monday, and this was like a Wednesday or Tuesday night. So it was one of those things where, yeah, that's right, Ivan. Yeah, you know they hit you because you're not LDBC. That's it. I disagree with them, and it is what it is. I mean, they slowed me down, but I couldn't be stopped. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't right for what they were doing, and then the truth comes to the light. Okay, so that was a big mess. Barbershop is a complete joke. He was flat broke, so married a white doctor. He then used her money to invest in property and constantly shows off about it. Freddie Jones, that was just a come up. Fred made a come up. JD's is not even a cut man. No, he's not. Matter of fact, Ray Khan, they didn't have a cut man. They didn't even have one. So, I mean, yeah, obviously not, because they didn't even have a hired cut man. I mean, he placed in when Wilder started getting cut up and beat up. You know, it is what it is. You know, so, yeah, that's a come up for Fred. You know, you can't knock him for a come up. I mean, he's broke. You know, I mean, you got to marry into somebody that's not. Mr. Rickson, JD's is an enabler. Well, obviously he's not. He is. He is an enabler. Why? Because he can't teach Wilder what he needs to know. That's why he hired Mark. But the dumbest thing about that is you don't hire someone only to stop that person you hired to stop doing the job. Because if you do that, that means you're wasting your money. Think about what I'm saying. That means you've wasted your money by hiring a guy that you won't let train. You can't make this shit up. I'm going to hire you to train this guy, but don't train this guy. I mean, how does that make sense? Speak to Spence about Mark Breland's son. Okay, yeah, we'll get that. Tay Jones got caught lying about the costume excuse. Oops. Like Showbiz the adult. Oops. Oh, man. You know who that sounds like, though? Rest in peace to Dustin Diamond, Screech from Saved by the Bell. You know, I grew up watching that. You know, he passed away for like some rare cancer, man. You know what I mean? But he used to do that. Oops. When he used to talk and spill the beans and say shit that he don't supposed to say, and people told him don't say nothing, Screech, and he ends up telling what he's supposed to tell. I don't know if you guys know about that, but you know. But it is what it is. Up off net. Yeah, man. Ali couldn't deal with AJ. No way. AJ too big. He uppercut. Fighting others who are the same body or same boat you're in is a sign of cowardice. You want to be LDBC? Doubt that. No. Showbiz the Adult is a proper channel. Oops. That's right. Very, very proper channel. You know? Kurt, a AJ hater. Oh, that's funny. I've heard it all now. Victor Baba, he says, I'm an AJ hater. Well, how do I hate on AJ? Although this has a lawyer's fingerprints all over it, I would have expected a shrewd businessman like Finkel to know those channels don't have what it takes to save Wilder. What a mess. Well, it's not. I'm glad you have you have got real connections to boxing. You are going to blow, brother. That's it. Lee Campbell, appreciate you, brother. Rachel, Ortiz locked Wilder into an ironclad contract when he was young. He might have. You know, you don't really know how that went about. I don't know the man's contract. I don't know because see, he's a trainer / manager, and he's a part of management. So it's kind of tricky when you're dealing with that. AJ is too big. AJ is too big for feather-fisted Ali. Henry Cooper knocked Ali down. I don't know. See, Ali had speed, though. Welcome back to Knowledge.
How you doing, bro?
Entertain everything.
It's very important. Like in my household, my kids say their prayers every evening.
Oh, that's good.
We say every evening without fail. And
that's good. You were able to multitask. Absolutely.
You know how it goes. You know what I mean? And like when I'm turning around saying like, who I regard as God, I regard the female as God. And considering I'm married to a black lady, then as far as I'm concerned, the black woman is God. And I respect and I kiss the mother of my children's feet. So irrespective of who you're with, you know what I mean? If you're with a producer, then it's your job to be the provider. And that's how it goes in my household.
Right. Yeah, I think you can teach them the rules of how true Black culture is conducted. You know?
Yeah.
If they care to listen, unless it's just a front. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. We got some questions for you. Shaka XL. Why hasn't JD's been interviewed yet? The water and the gloves was his responsibility.
And Shaka, listen, this is the next thing. Listen to me. People are people. I want you to realize this part here. People are people. Irrespective of their skin tone, people are invariably people. You're going to get certain people who you find similarities with. If it's your skin tone that makes you similar to somebody, that's rubbish. You know what I mean? It's your energy and your personality and your character that makes you similar to somebody else, right? So I can get on with anybody, right? Just because somebody's the same skin tone as me, right, doesn't necessarily mean like we're gonna gel because you're the same skin tone as me, right? That's the rules. I just want people to realize this. So I get on with anybody that shows me respect. You show me respect, it's gonna be reciprocated. You show me a bad face, it's going to be reciprocated. That's how it goes. This is how I roll. All right?
Right. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm with you. So you have someone like JD's and Deontay Wilder. I think they got along better. I think they had a great energy. That's the thing. A lot of people, I've told people, JD's and Deontay Wilder got along a hell of a lot. Because
he couldn't do hands though. He couldn't wrap hands.
No, he couldn't. That wasn't the point though. See, he was also a manager. So he did relevant.
You're in boxing, you can't wrap hands.
What's that?
You're in boxing, you can't wrap hands. No, something's wrong, bro.
Right. Well, that was the thing. I think the point was JD's was a guy that he was a hype man. He was a guy.
He ain't no Bandini Brown. He ain't no Bandini Brown. He's a hype man. Tell JD's to shut up, right? And I didn't like how they threw Mark Breland underneath the bus.
Right?
He threw him underneath. Who and Shelly Finkel, when they sat at the press conference last February, they flagged him underneath the bus. Oh, well, we don't really get down like that or blah. And Mark Breland was explaining certain things, like certain times when they were in, he couldn't speak to Deontay Wilder and blah, and all the rest of it. Right. But you know what I mean? But JD is all right, though. He's all right. The white dude, he's fine, though. He's fine. But the black dude now, Spare me. This is what I'm trying to say. Take people, man.
Right. Yeah, that was wrong. They shouldn't have conducted it like that, and then it was like they needed a fall guy and they found one immediately. Oh, well, he stopped the fight. I didn't want the fight to be stopped. You have no credentials to know how a person takes damage or what's going on in a fight, what this fighter is capable of. You don't know because you don't train. You've never been there.
You know what? I don't want this to be about gunning Deontay Wilder because I'm telling you this now, right? When Deontay, after big up Deontay Wilder, was it about 2 years ago? He came to London. You know what I mean? He came to London, and he went to Brixton, which is the diaspora of the black community, right? And he went to what was it? Afewi Gym in Brixton after rating for that. You know what I mean? And I just missed him by about 10 minutes. Because when I drove into Brixton and I parked up my car, everybody wanted to talk to me. So I'm talking to everyone on the street. And by the time I got to the gym, Deontay Wilder already left. And I guarantee you it would have been all love between me and Deontay Wilder. Because remember, that's my turf. You're going to behave yourself around there. You know what I mean? It would have been all love. And I would have been able to speak to him man to man. But when you got all these intermediaries, I'm telling you, like, he's got yes men around him. He's got yes man around him. I've said it. I'm not taking it back. But it's not a Deontay Wilder bashing time. I'm just speaking my mind.
Well, yeah, these are just from the audience. Shout out to Lee Campbell. Appreciate your super chat.
Big up Lee Campbell, man. Big up Lee Campbell. Always supporting.
Just want to shout out for the knowledge and you, Kurt. Get UK fight nights. Hopefully the scorecards ain't as bad as the weekend. What do you think about the scorecards in the bubble?
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was upsetting. It was very, very painful, to tell you the truth, Kurt. Very, very painful. Right? It was very, very, especially the Zolfa Barrett, Kiko Martinez fight. And I know Pat Barrett very well, former British and European junior welterweight champion, my good friend. I actually lobbied for Pat Barrett to get his license because the Border Control wasn't going to give it to him. Right? So I know Pat very well. For all the ability that Zelfa, his nephew, possesses, he didn't win that fight. I don't know if you watched the fight, he didn't win that fight. Kiko Martinez beat him as far as I'm concerned. And what made it worse, if you're going to rub the guy, you know what I mean? When they say Dick Turpin wore a mask, at least you wore a mask. That was a blink. When you seen like what? 1-1, 111, 118? Come on, man. That's
crazy.
That's right. And am I going to say it's a blatant robbery? No, I think having a no crowd influences judges even more to think, all right, let's just go with a home fighter. But we've actually got to stop this because British boxing, world boxing, derived the rules and everything from Jack Broughton, and then it turned into the British Board of Control rules from the Marquess of Queensberry, which are the rules that are used today. So it should carry itself better because that's disgusting.
Shout out to Carlos Way. How does the LDBC believe one black man over another without evidence, but they are pro-black? FOH. Well, I don't know. I'm convinced that a lot of these channels are fronts. I think they know race sells, and then because they know race sells, it revs everybody up. I think they go with that particular narrative, and then they go there to suit a certain narrative. And I think that's what.
In my defense of the LDBC, right? In my defense, right? I understand the reason why they started their shows, right? I understand True Boxing. I understand, Boxing Blue Bloods or Blue Bloods Boxing. I understand where they were coming from. But if that's always going to be your narrative, you're not respecting the art because those who know better do better, right? So we can't do that. And I get it. I mean, when me and Tony started the show, people say, "What is it? Only a black show?" I said, "What the hell are you talking about? Is it only a black show?" Now I talk boxing, right? So I don't care who you are. If I can contact you and say, "Yeah, jump on the show," you jump on, and you're a name. I don't care who you are. I don't care what skin tone you are, right?
Right.
But I get where the LDBC come from. I'm not knocking what they're doing or what they try to do. What I'm knocking is the fact that just like everything else, you get people who follow you and they're idiots. right? And idiots will say idiotic things. And it's like, you don't want to upset them now. You can't put them in their place, right? Yes, racism has never been my problem. I just want people to realize that racism is a racist problem. I've been called racist on many a time because I stand up against the bullshit of institutionalized racism in the UK. Me alone, me one. When everyone, all the other black guys are like, oh, well, Spence, hold it down. I said, I don't care. So I used to be like that. But now, when I'm in defense of somebody who's not the same skin tone as me, oh, that's Spencer, man. He's an Uncle Tom sellout, man. He's loving master. You see this bullshit? They don't know what I represent. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So right. I'm saying to people, I'm saying to people, I understand where the LDBC are coming from, but they need to loosen up a bit, and they're too much conspiracy theorists. Right, cool. Be your conspiracy theorist on certain things. That's like the whole Deontay Wilder thing, but come with your facts. You come with your facts. I'll be walking around London with plaques saying like Deontay Wilder has been cheated and all the rest of it. But you ain't come with none of that. It's just hearsay. And the more hearsay that you come up with, it's not going to go away. I'm just letting you know that now.
Hey, counterpunch. I mean, hey, no argument here. I mean, that's the whole thing. It wasn't the fact that I was saying that he was a liar. I was just trying to see what was the truth and what wasn't the truth.
Exactly.
You know, that's the whole thing. That's a total difference between, oh, he cheated. Okay, where's the proof? So, because if he cheated, show me the proof, then we can both say he cheated.
Exactly.
Shout out to Johnson 2 times for the 2 super chats. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your support. But it was one of those things, you go video after video after video after video, then you have someone that comes behind you countering that shit. Now you have a problem. What's your problem? Prove me wrong. Bring me on your show. Prove me wrong on your platform.
They're not going to bring you on their platform. Yeah, you'll eat those guys up. They're not bringing you on. Forget about that one, Kurt. All right? They're not bringing you on the platform. You know what I mean?
It's been several occasions. Me and Boxing Ego. Me and Blue Blood. Well, Boxing Ego, we don't get along at all. But
why don't you
he's a sworn enemy of mine. Not me of his, but of mine.
Right. Why?
But Blue Blood, we've talked sensibly about certain boxing matters. And it wasn't him that said, oh, Kurt, you don't know what you're talking about. It would be his fans, the guys with the wrenches, right? The moderators. They're the ones that, let me block Kurt. What are you blocking Kurt for? You know what I mean? Let the man block. That's why I don't want all of these moderators, because then when people see stuff people will block certain questions you ask them. They're not hating questions. They're not questions that promote anything negative. They're just questions that people that don't want to answer. That's what it is, because maybe they don't have an answer for the question that I'm asking. So I think that's what a lot of times I get kicked off of there, but so whatnot. But I just think it's a trip. Show some love for the likes. Yeah, let's show some love for the likes. Unite the brothers. Heard you guys do something bigger together. Oh, okay. That's not even what I wanted to.
Who's this
BFT boxing? I heard of him a few months ago because they said that I was buying. He claimed that I was buying subscribers.
Okay.
He said, "Oh, you buying subscribers? He's a phony. It's false." I never said.
Stop for a second, yeah. Let's feed the bear. We ain't even giving our energy to that. Good luck to them.
Right.
The best. I hope that his channel really explodes.
Yeah, it'll explode one way or the other. Hopefully. Yeah, but let's see here. We had some because I had some pretty good questions here. I'm just searching for them because we got a lot of comments. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. All right. They fired him because I think he was the only one that could question him and let him get away with not training. Well, that's another wildest question. Let's see here.
Come on, Kurt. You're going to be faster than this, bruv.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of it is a lot of comments. But here you go. Oh, there we go.
Breland's son's interview. I saw a little bit of it because someone tagged me on it. I think the guy who made it tagged me on it on Twitter.
Okay.
So I think it's like something like 9 hours long. I ain't got 9 hours, bro. Right.
Yeah. Give me the chopped up version. Chopped up.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
But I mean, it's wait a minute. Hold on a second. Because see, this is something that I wanted to ask you, Spencer. And okay, no, they fired him simply because he threw in the towel. Now listen, do you remember where the referee was? Okay, Kenny Bayless. Kenny Bayless had his back turned.
Kenny Bayless didn't see when the towel was thrown in.
Exactly.
Kenny Bayless was stopping the fight anyway. Right.
He said he was going to. Look. You saw that. I watched that fight 24 times.
Right. In fact, I'm going to watch that in a minute now. Now you keep on.
Look, watch it again. He's seen the onslaught.
1 second. I'm going to turn on the fight right now.
Watch this because we got to watch this real time. I want you to watch it and then get back to me because we're cracking it wide open. And people think that this was all everybody's throwing it. And look, and basically it's like this. Kenny Bayless was off the hook because he found out seconds later that, the towel was thrown in.
Tyson 2 is Deontay Wilder 2, right? I'm going to turn on the sound because I don't want you to get
Yeah. Just mute it. It's fine. We just have to see where he was at, what he was looking at. Because
Tyson 2, Deontay Wilder 2.
El Court, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, that's my guy from England. Big up,
man. El Court.
I'm just seeing this. I'm going to stop because I watched this fight so many times. I really enjoyed this fight. You know what? He was getting busted up on the inside as well, Deontay Wilder. When there's up close, Tyson Fury was trying like uppercuts on the inside. Mm-hmm. And Tyson Fury was trying very, very spiteful shots at Deontay. He really wanted to hurt him. You know? And it's sad, you know? It's sad. It's sad.
No inside game. No way to protect itself. No offense. No defense. Look, no offense plus no defense equals total destruction.
Yeah.
Victor Baba. Spencer is an AJ hater. Why would you have him on here? AJ walks through Fury in a round. Say it's Spencer. Wow.
It's amazing that people say that I'm an AJ hater. Victor, I speak to Anthony Joshua quite regularly. If people can't take me being honest over certain things, I'll never ever Anthony Joshua hater, because I could tell you, I know for a fact you've never been in Anthony Joshua's changing room before fights or after fights to administer the prayer when they get into fight. So never ever turn around and call me a hater, my friend. You know what I mean? You must have something or hate on me because I see your name is Victor Baba. You must be Nigerian and you're looking on me. Maybe you got some haterism inside of you because I'm of Jamaican descent, my friend. Right? I'm telling you now, straight standard, that we are all one people. There's red that comes out of us. Right? We're all one family. That's the human family. There is no hate inside me when it comes to Anthony Joshua. Next frigging question. Or maybe it's because when Kurt did the video about me not being happy over what AJ said when he called Lennox Lewis a clown. And right. I addressed that to Anthony Joshua. But At the time, maybe Andy Joshua was going through the same kind of thing. He just lost his fight to Andy Ruiz. All kind of things were bubbling up in his head, and you go say things, and he's got people around him. He's got people around him that could be kind of yes man as well. Remember, he's a golden goose, right? But here's the thing: I will speak my mind because those guys who are around Andy Joshua, they can't tell me nothing about boxing, and that's not me being cocky. They're puppies to me. They've just come in this thing, but Andy Joshua just come into this thing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm talking to Andy Joshua. I'm saying, listen, we should allow our disagreements with the elders, regardless how Lennox Lewis. And sometimes Lennox Lewis can be a little bitch. I'm saying it 100. Yes, he can. Right? But what I'm saying is, even if we got sunk up against someone in your heart, sometimes when it comes to that, if we're going to be going back and forth, or we're going to be saying disrespectful things about people, we shouldn't be doing it on the big media platforms where certain people want to see us being divided anyway. So that's my only gripe. But me and Andy Joshua are cool. We speak all the time. It's nothing but love and respect. And that's the fact.
You know, for the record, I think AJ likes people to deny him. I think he likes that. I think he respects it. I think that, you know, a lot of people, I don't think he gets pissed off about that. I think that helps him.
Nah, I got to disagree. No one not really like to hear anything bad about you, especially when you hold someone in regard. I don't know over the fact of that, but I've explained to him the reason why. And me and Andy Joshua are cool. And that's that. I've got nothing but love and admiration for Andy Joshua. Nothing but love and admiration, especially for someone who's just literally walking into boxing, unlike Tyson Fury, who's a thoroughbred in this game because he's been raised for the game.
Been raised, fighting man. That's a proud thing.
That's the truth, though. He has been raised for it. He's been raised for it.
So, got an opinion on the White Povetkin rematch?
Yeah, I've got Dylan White, late stoppage or points win. That's how I see the fight going.
Oh, you think it's going to go a straight 12?
Could do, yeah.
You know, I was thinking that same thing. I think that he would play it safer and keep Povetkin at bay with the jab because he was popping him with the jab, setting up the right.
The thing that's good now is like Xavier Miller is a new trainer per se, but with Xavier Miller, the young guy in his corner, they've now employed Harold the Shadow Knight to work in their corner. And Harold the Shadow Knight famously worked right throughout Lennox Lewis's championship years. Harold the Shadow Knight wasn't a lead trainer. He was always like the second, point out little things, give out little things. I think that's going to help raise the spirits of the camp. So I still got Dylan White winning this fight because Dylan's that kind of guy that has a pig ignorance to him that he doesn't even count like him getting knocked out in the last fight like that means anything. He's saying, don't worry about it because watch what I'll do in a return. So, yeah.
Yeah, he is a challenger. He loves the challenge. I think it's the fight in him that makes him want to fight again and again and again.
100%.
Juan Big Guns, Team Joshua needs to make sure Fury doesn't cheat.
Yeah, you know what? As much as we're laughing, with everything that's gone on, yeah, those things they should check every eventuality and be prepared for it.
Well, yeah, definitely. But I think that would happen anyway, because somebody would be there that's responsible enough to know that something is going the way it's supposed to go. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Reece James says Lennox doesn't like AJ for real.
I don't know. I mean, it's a statement. What do you think? What do you think about that, Spence?
I've already explained the situation of how it was. Lennox Lewis thought that he was going to get Andy Joshua to work with, right? Now I'm just going to be real with you. Like Andy Joshua did the right thing to go with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua needed each other, and they both broke the bank together. Look at it. Anthony Joshua is a multi-millionaire. Multi-millionaire, right? He most probably has earned 3 times the amount of money that Deontay Wilder's earned, if not more. So it's a ridiculous amount of money that he's earned. And he's a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. And he's a unified champion.
Okay. So the question is, why didn't Lewis invest the same type of energy into Wilder that he invested into, or he wanted to invest into Joshua?
No, but the thing about it is this. I think it was all of the fact of the synergy of us both being British. You know what I mean? I was the last undisputed heavyweight champion, and I'm working with you. But, and this is no disrespect to Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis hasn't got a track record of building fights. Right? He hasn't got a track record of promoting fights. Right? And it's difficult when you've been at the top of the tree. You go name me a fighter outside of Oscar De La Hoya, right? Who has built an organization after stopping and being at the top of the mountain and building fighters of any great success.
Yeah, because Floyd can't even say that because Floyd hasn't accomplished that yet.
Well, exactly. And that's not me showing no disrespect to no one. So I believe that Anthony Joshua did the right thing by going with Eddie Hearn instead of Lennox Lewis. Right? But Anthony Joshua should have Lennox Lewis around him just for Lennox to be around to just drop little pointers here and there. But I don't think Robert McCracken wanted Lennox Lewis around. I'm just being real. And I can see why he didn't want him around. He said, listen, I'm the trainer. I'm the one that brought you to Olympic gold medal to help with Lennox Lewis. It is one of those kind of things. But that's me. I just talk the rules. I don't care.
Right. Okay, yeah, so there was some definite beef between those two guys. But then I think when AJ lost, Lennox Lewis was, hey, you know, that's what you need a college professor if, you know, not a third grade teacher to progress.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was
I was saying to Anthony Joshua, which he's done, he listened to me. I'm saying, bruv, what you should do is start getting some boxing people around you because you ain't got no boxing people around you. And he knows that it's because I said that he's done that. So props to Anthony Joshua, man. He's ever improving.
Well, okay, Quan Big Guns. I think I will subscribe to Spence. He's my favorite UK person. Okay.
Thank you very much, Quan. That means a lot, my friend. It's Stamina for Sale YouTube channel, and our show's The Fight Is Right, and we got everybody on. So yeah, you'd enjoy it. So thank you very much, brother.
So Jim Brown, he states, shout out to Jim Brown. He says AJ is accepted by the American fans. Lewis was not. What do you think about that?
No, because Andy Joshua was not accepted by the American fans. And that's the truth. And when you say Lennox Lewis was not accepted by the American fans, he wasn't accepted, but he used to kick everybody's American bottom, though, didn't he?
He did.
Right. And if you got a win over him, he made sure he was getting that rematch to deal with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, with Lennox Lewis, he beat Holyfield. They cheated that man. And I wasn't even going for Lennox Lewis. I was going for Holyfield, but he cheated that man. They cheated him. I mean, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and Jose Feliciano could see that man was cheated that night. Like it was no fight, like it's maybe except the third round of that fight, the first fight. I mean,
yeah. I tell you, Jose Feliciano, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard him sing? He sings the national anthem for Larry Holmes versus Carl the Truth Williams. What was that in? 1985 or 84? But he sings the national anthem, yeah, with the guitar. It's incredible. Listen to that rendition, please. I beg. And that's for Larry Holmes, IBF heavyweight champion.
I will. That's on the bucket list.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the fight. I'm saying just watch how he sings the national anthem. Wicked.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will. I definitely will watch it. You got the 6th round pulled up? No, sorry, the 7th round pulled up.
I've just watched it. But you could use in mid-flow conversation. Yeah, I watched it. Kenny Bayless is being stopped right now. And the guy is just holding his hand out and just hammering away, gone heads, gone bodies, come up upstairs with a left hook. Kenny Bayless stops the fight. Kenny Bayless didn't even see the towel being thrown in.
He didn't see it. Kenny Bayless stopped that damn fight. He stopped the fight. But here's the thing. He stopped it.
Right now.
He was gonna look. He stopped. He couldn't see the towel. The towel was thrown in the middle of the ring. He was behind it.
Yeah.
Look where he was. I don't have to look at it to see it. I know. Look where he was.
Now you know what? By this angle, it seems like maybe Kenny did see it anyway, but he was in the verge of stopping the fight anyway. It makes no difference. Yeah,
well, he did
angle. He turn his head. Does Kenny Bayless turn his head? Leave Kenny in this fight. I'm going to see. Does he see the towel being thrown in? What's the matter? They're changing the camera angle. This is BT's version. I'm just watching it right now. Does he see the towel No, he didn't see the towel. He did not see the towel.
He couldn't have. You look, your peripheral's like this. Look, if your peripheral,
he didn't see the towel.
he's watching, mind you, they're in a corner. They're in a corner. They ain't on the side of the ring. They're in the corner. So he's watching Fury come back. And you know how Kenny Bayless is. You know he's engaged in the fight. He's one of the most amped, energetic, probably besides Steve Willis. But Kenny Bayless is a guy, he gets closer to see what exactly is going on, especially when punches are being thrown and punches are being landed. And there were punches thrown and there were punches landed. And they were nailing Wilder. And he was like, you know what? Based on what we've already seen, I'm going to wave this. And he's seen it and he waved it off. He waved it off. And when he waved it off, he turned around, seen that towel, boom. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Yep.
You know, and I think the reason why, Spencer, I think the reason why he came forth because it was basically he wanted to make himself accountable. Like, look, I would have stopped it anyway. No, you really stopped it. I think he felt obligated to say, hey, I would have stopped it because he actually stopped it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, well, Mark Breland stopped it, so he's taking the heat, but then let me help this out and say, hey, I was going to stop it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's one of those situations where, dude, he was going to – it just proves you that fight was over. It was over. It was over. There's no ifs and buts about it. And the third fight is a wash. Now it's the future.
It is what it is.
What is he? Do you think he can get a deal mapped out with Dillian White after the Povetkin fight?
No, because I think that Deontay Wilder needs to just come back because the longer it takes for him not to fight, the worse it's going to be for him.
Yeah.
I'm just being real.
What do you think about Wilder Martin not happening?
Who?
Deontay Wilder and Charles Martin. You know,
I had no real interest in that fight, to tell you the honest truth.
Yeah, I mean, it was look, at this point, you got 2 losses compared to 1. He got knocked out by Anthony Joshua and he got beat by Adam Kalnaki. I know he was an IBF champion for about 2 days. Okay. But he was still the champion, still the IBF champion. Him, and he's been with Manny Robles now, and he's had 3 straight wins. You know, he beat Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington beat Helenius. Helenius beat Adam Kalnaki, which beat him. So he's done a lot more, and I think people are sleeping on Charles Martin. I think Charles Martin is a guy that could give Deontay Wilder something. I don't know what or how much.
Yeah, but what I also know is that I know Deontay Wilder will touch him. Deontay Wilder will touch him. He'll knock him out. I've got no doubt in my head Deontay Wilder will knock him out.
Well, the hope for Charles Martin, the obvious remains. Straight right, a guy that loves to throw the right, a guy that knocks people out with the right and the right only, fighting a southpaw. Go figure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But you know, I'm really interested to see him come back and see what he can do, what condition he's in. Will he be strong? Will he be, ring rust? What will be his demeanor? Will he be timid? Will he be?
We shall see. Pop some more questions up. I'm seeing some things are, you know what I mean? I'm seeing some things pop up right now, so I want to see this. I want to hear the impertinence of certain people.
All right, well, we just answered that question. I want to see Wilder versus Ruiz. What do you think about Wilder versus Ruiz?
Great fight. Seriously, excellent fight. Because technically, Ruiz is better than he is, right? Let's call it as it is.
Yeah.
Right? But like I said, if you can punch like Deontay Wilder, you can go with anyone. Because all you got to do is touch that chin. You touch that chin, they're going to be gone. Right? So, yeah.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I mean, everybody Hey, look, everybody sleeps on the fat man, but they don't understand the fat man has been fighting probably as long as Tyson Fury has.
That guy can fight.
6 years old. That's all he knew. It was either that or pick fruit. And he was like, you know what? I ain't doing that shit. I want to box. You know what I mean? So he knows his thing. I think his thing is other demons with obesity and, those type of things, and then
I think he's conquering them now. So we'll see, man. Right. JD, what are you saying, bro? Big up yourself, bro. What are you saying, JD? What do you say? Does Spencer agree that it's possible AJ could beat Fury on points? Possible. It's possible. But I think AJ's best chance of winning that fight is to smash him.
Yeah, take it to him.
Yeah, take it right to him. Tight guard, take it to him. Lots of double jabs, right hands. Put your hands straight back up after you've thrown them. And the thing is, AJ's got a better inside game than Tyson Fury.
Well, and not gas out when he's trying to do it, because there's going to be a time when he does attack like he did with Klitschko and with his latest opponent, Pulev. So, but I'm glad he didn't gas out. It was a good thing. It was a good sign. Shout out to Lee Campbell once again. If Wilder wants respect, fight Chisora. He will show him no respect. Chisora will test anyone. What do you think about that fight?
Yep, I agree. You know what? It's more to do like what Wilder's got left and his desire still in the game. And Derek Chisora could test anyone, but allegedly now it's like Derek Chisora is going to fight Joseph Parker, and we shall see what's going to happen now.
Okay. Andre, Kurt asked Spencer if he considers Adelaide, the British boxing prospect right now, although we are just months away from the Olympics, which is being a golden pot for the UK.
He's talking about this heavyweight young man. I think he's had about 7 fights now. Signed to Frank Warren. He's not a bad kid, to tell you the truth. He's not a bad kid. I wouldn't say that he's the best British prospect right now. Up and coming prospect. There are some really good kids at this moment. There's a kid called Jack Bates. I think he's boxing now at super bantamweight. Look out for this kid. Really good kid. Really good kid.
What's his name again?
Jack Bateson. Look out for him.
Bateson. Okay, guys, remember Jack Bateson. Shout out to Boxing Logics United. Appreciate the love, brother. AJ needs to be the tactical brute he's built to be. Well, basically, what you said, is to take it.
Yeah. And I agree. I don't disagree with that.
Okay, Julian Crosby. Why do people give Wilder too much credit when his only good win is against Ortiz, who hasn't beat anyone?
Because Ortiz is a very good fighter. That's why.
Yeah.
So, as much as they say Ortiz ain't beat no one, Ortiz is a good fighter.
Well, I mean, you got the guy that's training him now. He slapped him around the ring. He took a dive against Wilder, but he did slap him around the ring, dropped him 3 times, and that was in the UK. Am I correct? Dave Allen. Mm-hmm. He beat Dave Allen too.
Yep, he did beat Dave Allen.
Brian Jennings. He beat him.
No disrespect. Dave Allen win don't mean nothing. No, Dave Allen. Dave Allen is he's like the boy next door. But that win doesn't stack up for anything, and that's the truth.
Okay, Big Daddy Cool. Wilder versus Efe Ajagba. What do you think?
I've seen bits of Ajagba. I've seen him get hurt in fights as well.
Yeah.
If you're getting hurt in fights, if Deontay Wilder hits you, knock you out. But that would be a good fight. It would be an entertaining fight. But you'd have to favor Wilder. But on the same thing, we don't know how Wilder was dealing with things mentally. So, Ajagba can punch. He can punch.
Do you think those guys are similar in style?
Kind of, but not that similar. They're kind of similar, but they're not that similar.
Yeah. Kaladze dropped him. I think for the first time ever, he dropped him flat on his back.
Exactly.
You know, and
Deontay Wilder throwing shots at you.
yeah. If he touches a Jogba, if seeing what this guy Kaladze did, you know, he'd probably get knocked out by Wilder quick. People don't understand Wilder's a knockout artist. That's what he's gonna gun for. And I think he just come up short that night, you know, and then we are just figuring out why each and every shred of evidence that we have.
Yeah. I've just changed the thing so I can actually see the questions when they're coming up because I have my light.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we got one last question for you. David Graver, Spence, what are your views on some Americans believing Wilder versus 3 is bigger than AJ versus Fury financially?
Pardon me? We're saying
they said, what are your views on some Americans?
Listen, stop that foolishness. Nobody were making offers to Deontay Wilder to go fight out in the Middle East. All right?
Right.
Stop it. Just stop it now. Right? Because most of the American fighters be hollering me to say, oh, they want to come to the UK. You know what I mean? They want to come to the UK because of more opportunity out in the UK. So please, I don't want to hear this foolishness. I'm sorry. This fight is nowhere near bigger. And when I mean nowhere near, I mean absolutely nowhere near bigger.
Yeah, a lot of people want to believe certain things, but again, if you live in a shoebox and you only see certain things, that's what you're going to believe. And I think
I'm telling you this now. Spare me this foolishness. Having AJ versus Tyson Fury is the biggest heavyweight fight in recent years, and why would anyone go watch? As far as I'm concerned, Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder twice. He beat him twice. He beat him the first time, didn't get the nod. They gave it a draw, and he definitely beat the hell out of him in the second fight. So there is no interest in Fury Wilder 3. But all these Deontay Wilder groupies need to hold on to that, because it's like Deontay Wilder is your savior. You need Deontay Wilder to be there, so it gives your life validation.
Right.
That's the truth. And Deontay Wilder, that fight ain't. I tell you what would be big: Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. If Anthony Joshua was to get past AJ, that would still be a big fight.
I mean, it would be a good fight, but how big would it be if Deontay Wilder hasn't done anything to show anything? Anything else since his loss?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, he has to earn that now. I mean, he has to show people that he's not crazy, you know, that he's mentally stable, that he does have the energy to fight still, because, you know, his passion is not fighting, is acting. You know, Deontay Wilder, you know, I'll probably run into Deontay Wilder on a movie set, let alone.
Boy, I wouldn't say that. You must want Bomb Squad to come for you.
No. I'm just saying it's more likely nowadays, because Wilder said he wants to get into acting. You know, it's been rumored that he wants to be in Creed 3. You remember that? Is Mr. T's son and all this, that, and the other. I don't know how true it is. I'm just saying that's something that he's interested in. I know that's a fact. However, his passion is acting.
Well, good luck for him, man.
You know, so more than likely it would be on another platform. It'd probably be in a trailer somewhere outside of New Orleans or Atlanta, you know, where they make films and some stuff. But again, back to Wilder, he has to prove himself to make that fight what it is. So if he fights someone like Dillian White and beats Dillian White, or you can forget about Ortiz. What do you think about where does Ortiz go from here? Do you think he has a couple good fights left?
I'm gonna be real. Ortiz should go to the old people's home.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I think he wasted his opportunities. You know, I think he should have really fought Joshua. What type of fight you think that would have produced if that fight would have happened? Based on let's look at based on the last two performances, because I think that's only fair. What do you think the Ortiz that fought Wilder in the second fight and the Joshua that fought Pulev lately?
Anthony Joshua would deal with Ortiz.
Yeah. Reasons why?
He's too old. Anthony Joshua has a very, very good right hand. Anthony Joshua has a very, very good inside game. And as long as Anthony Joshua's on it, he will be on Luis Ortiz.
Nice.
You got another super chats there.
There we go. Boxing Logics United. If he, which is Wilder, show up on the big screen, he will get laughed off. It's just as fast.
You know what? Okay. No, you know what? I'm not going to say that, because many men have surprised me when they've gone into acting. I didn't think Tony Bellew could act, and I thought he did a very good job as Pretty Ricky in the original Creed. So yeah, it is what it is.
No, that was a very, very, very good. I liked him. I liked his demeanor. I like it. It gelled with the movie. Tony Bellew. And I say this about Wilder. Wilder he's tall. I think, honest, I mean, this is my opinion. I think that Wilder is putting on more weight because the bigger you are on screen, the more you project, because you look a lot bigger on screen. So the bigger you get, I think he's trying to get more bulky because I think he's trying to transition in. We'll see. But I think he's really trying to do that. And I do see him doing a shitload of films because, you got the tats, the height, the demeanor, you could, the expressions and stuff like, he could do that. He could be like the last bad guy for a lot of guys or the main henchman or whatever. He can do that.
We shall see, brother. We shall see. But I wish Deontay Wilder all the best.
But Boxing Logics United, no, I won't laugh him out because, he might be actually a pretty good actor. Depends on how much passion he puts into that craft.
Yeah.
But brother, man, I appreciate you coming on.
No, man. Thank you very much, Kurt. You know what I mean?
No problem. We got to do it again soon after a couple great fights take place. And
before I run out, what's this guy? Godfather of Boxing. Click on that one, please.
What you got here? Okay. Boom.
Right. Read that out, please.
Spence, what's your take on the Daniel Kinahan situation with all the bullshit to paper the same and the man has never been charged with any crime?
And I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. This is the person that I know personally, who I've got a lot of time for, who knows my family, I know his family. And it's amazing how people will say certain things. It's like me saying, Kurt, allegedly. Allegedly. Always there is, when's it going to stop from being alleged and be the truth? Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
And then there's all of this nonsense like, he's wanted in this place and that place. No, he isn't, because there isn't no, the man has no criminal convictions against him. The man has no arrest warrants out for him. And this is factual. This is not me trying anything here. I'm just telling you the truth. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying all these people who talk, they don't know the guy. They've never been around the guy. I mean, you hear things that become like folklore legend. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm telling you now, I've been around the guy. I've been around him for a hot minute.
Oh, legend.
He's a boxing person. And if you're a boxing person, that's my synergy with you. He loves boxing. But he's a very, very powerful man in the game because he advises so many guys in boxing. So as he's advising guys, so he advises guys who are at MTK Global, who are at Matchroom, who are at Queensbury, who are at Showtime. With ESPN, not ESPN, with Top Rank. So he advises so many people across the board. So all of a sudden now, it's like, he's the big bad wolf. Or how did he rise to this power? It's not very difficult to open a boxing gym. Reason why I've ran two, right? Especially if you get a rundown, you used to go and get a rundown, dilapidated ex-car watch and turn it into a boxing gymnasium, that's not going to cost you more than £10,000. I can tell you. Or what's that? $15,000. That's not a lot of money.
Really? Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you got like a former world title challenger who's in the gym. It's a network. Fighters are looking, I want someone to go and train. It's in the sun. British fighters, definitely. It's in the sun. It's going to be better atmosphere for you. They're all going to be running out there. So spare me from all of these allegations. Spare me from all of this nonsense. I'm telling you now that if you met Daniel Kinahan, Kurt, you would actually love him. Beautiful human being, very, very caring man. A person who's challenged me many a time to be better at the things that I'm doing. And I got nothing but love and respect for him. And that is the truth, Ruth.
Well, what's all the hate with him then? What's the deal? I mean, I'm not understanding. I mean, where's the hate coming from?
Where's the hate coming from?
Yeah.
It's you know what is this is like when you're successful at certain things, people can point their finger all around the place and say, oh, it's this guy and this guy's done that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying that's cool. Bring your proof, right? Not just he said, she said, bring your proof. Right, he made a statement the other day, which was on TalkSport, which is a very, very good statement. And I'm saying to the guy, let him continue doing his stuff, and let's just leave it at that. Because the simple thing is this: everybody wants to jump on somebody and fight down someone. I'm saying everybody's got a past, right?
Right.
But I have to take as I find, and I'm more of the notion to be a pioneer of your future than a prisoner of your past. Right? So I'm turning around saying of my experience with the guy, and you said so many people come out like this. Roy Jones Jr. has come out and said things. Billy Joe Saunders has come out and said things. You go through the whole list, and look at that, then I can say I've got nothing but love and admiration for the guy, because this is what I said to you earlier. I don't care what skin tone you are, what race, what religion, what sexual preference. You show me love, I'm going to reciprocate that thing back to you. Unless you was to mess with children, then you should die.
Right. Absolutely.
There's a more person there. I would like to be fed out the place while I'm here before I leave.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to Shaka Khan for the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He does have a question for you, Spence. Spence, what's your favorite African food or dish?
I'm going to be real with you, yeah? Shaka, when I'm saying Shaka, you must be Ghanaian, right? Me personally, I do love pepper stew with meat and ground rice. Gari, not fufu, but gari, if you know what that is. That's like broken down cassava, and yeah. I'm being very, very fortunate. Even though I'm of Jamaican descent, my next door neighbor to me was he's actually Ghanaian. He's Ghanaian and Sierra Leonean. So I grew up in their household. So a lot of people actually thought I was from Sierra Leone. I've been very, very grateful that I've had that mix of culture when it comes to that of the African diaspora being in the UK.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right. You know what? There's a very famous boxing manager, who's from Guinea-Bissau, and his name was Ambrose Mendy. Go check him out. He managed Nigel Benn, the destructive two-weight world champion back in the 90s, and he managed him. Spence, did you rate Kirtland Lang? Yes, Paul Young, I did rate Kirtland Lang. Now we're going kind of left now, but I'm educating you American fans. Kirtland Lang famously came over to America and defeated Roberto Duran. I think it was 1982. It was a very, very tricky boxer. He became British welterweight champion. But unfortunately with Kirtland Lang, he was a guy that he had a lot of drink and drug problems that went on. But Kirtland Lang should be greatly celebrated in the UK, but unfortunately, he's not. Who was it? We had Michael Murray, the former lightweight world title challenger, British and European champion, former British and European champion. And he said on our show, The Fight Is Right with myself and Tundi, the day that he retired from boxing was the day his phone stopped ringing. So I think that's the same analogy that we could use to Kirtland Lang. But Kirtland Lang was superb. Very, very awkward fighter. Box, moved, and all the rest of it. So it's all good. Who's this? AS. Get this guy, AS. I just see something.
All right.
Yep.
He says, come on, watch the documentaries on the Kinahan family. The Irish government are after him. The Spanish know what he's about and are trying to get him. There's a load of evidence against his family too.
You know what? I'm getting tired of defending this. A documentary, a one-sided documentary that you've watched, right? And you're running with it. Like I'm saying, I'm going to say this again. I want you to listen to me. Pioneer your future, not prisoner of your past, number one. Number two, my friend, when you're saying watch the documentary, only an idiot could sit down and watch that documentary and say, oh my word, and yeah. You know what I mean? Sensationalized bullshit. And you guys are buying it. The stupid ones are buying it. I know people who are sensible can look at it and say, You know what I mean? Everything in that documentary was alleged. Okay then, don't come with alleged, come with your truths. There are none. And when you're saying like the Spanish, there's no arrest warrant for him for the Spanish government. None.
What is Spencer? Is Daniel still talking to Christy, his father?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm not going to comment about that.
Okay, yeah, because that's far beyond me. I don't know. That's right. Yeah. But no, man. Again, man, I appreciate you coming on. Taking the. This has been some good stuff. We've covered a lot. Tomorrow, I don't know if before you came on, Anthony Breland was in the chat.
Okay, big him up, man, because he's the one that arranged the thing.
Right, but maybe about because I was probably on about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes before you came on, and he was in, and then because I did a video on him earlier this morning when I woke up, and then he thanked me for the video that I countered about that video that he did with Punch Drunk Boxing. He did maybe a couple days ago or a day ago or whatever. I don't know when it was, but I just counted it this morning. And he came on. So I'll be on tomorrow sometime. If you like, you can come on if you feel like coming on.
What time are we talking, bro?
Let's see.
I'm kind of free because what it is, it's like my children are on holiday now. So I don't have to do homeschooling because they're not at school because of the lockdown and the pandemic. So I won't have to do homeschooling. So you shout me a time, I'll jump on this, man.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll get with you.
With the people on your platform. So thank you very much.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for coming on. I'm pretty sure everybody loved it. A lot of people got the knowledge, the type of knowledge that they're supposed to receive. So it's enlightening, brother. It definitely is enlightening to the sport. You're a true ambassador to the sport, and we're going to see you on the next chat. It may be tomorrow.
Rob, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Hey, listen, let me tell you this. Every single person who's on the chat, whether you said positive things or negative things, I don't care. Just realize this. I appreciate everyone because you're engaging. And that's what I like. I like people talking about the game that I so passionately love. And I really do love this game. That's number one. And number two, do not underrate the blessing that you've woken up. You woke up this morning, that means that you won. Thank you very much, Shaka, for subscribing to the Stamina for Sale channel. I've really enjoyed this. Who's this guy? Dylan, no, thank you for coming on. Fred the Bear, we didn't put your question up, but you're my guy, man. Remember, give Stamina for Sale channel a follow as well. Right, Celtic 67 live. I rate you, Spence. Good man from Dublin. Listen, bruv, I big you up. Let me tell you, I love the Irish folks. I'm just being 100 because what you guys in America don't realize, like how white Irish people are in America, because now they're no longer Irish, they're American. But to the Irish people in the UK, especially of the 60s and 70s, right? In the 60s and 70s, and that's when they had the race relations law that put in like, I think it was like 1965.
Right.
Where, right, for the housing, on the front of doors, if you went to accommodations, it would say no blacks, no dogs, and Irish were last. I want you to realize this. Irish were last. That was regard that the European of Great Britain had for Irish people. It was a massive disregard. So what would happen is Irish and the West Indians would group together. Like they'd be living in shared housing and when they were renting rooms and stuff like that. So when you understand that history and you understand that synergy between the Irish and black folks, and like Irish are called the blacks of Europe. Did you know that?
Right.
Right. So the Irish people who I've encountered, yeah, different gravy. The Irish people who used to help my dad would tell me the stories, like when he'd come home from work, he'd have to carry 2 Guinness bottles. You know, the Guinness bottles were big bottles back then, right? He had to carry 2 of them in his bag when he's coming from work because he had to fight teddy boys, right? These were the white racists. But the guys that used to help him in the fights were Irish guys. So there's a synergy there. And what we have to realize that people are just people. We use these things where what we should be doing, what we do, we base our things on our similarities, right? We base our things on our similarities, and we don't base them on our differences. Where we should be basing our things on our similarities, and our similarities that we're human beings, and even more so, our similarities to every single person in here. You're a boxing person, so you cannot say you love boxing, you don't love me. I'm telling you this now. You know what I mean? I should be the most loved up person because I actually love this game. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. So I don't give a shit about, and people get this misconception that I'm into this color thing. That's all bullshit. You know what I mean? That's all bullshit. I'm a person that stands up for things that I see of oppression. If I see someone taking a liberty, I don't care. You could be taking a liberty with somebody who's homosexual. I'm not standing for that. That's what I'm like, because people are people, period. You know what I mean? Spread love where you can find it.
There you go, man. Hey, that's good stuff, man. I'm a lover of the sport. And it's really basically, why do you think Ali is Ali? Because he loved everybody. He got along with everyone.
Yeah, Ali loved everyone, but also Ali stood up when nobody was standing up, right? I'll take it down, break it down really quickly for you, right? 1964, February 25th, when Ali becomes heavyweight champion of the world by beating Sonny Liston, right?
Right.
When he beat Sonny Liston, at that time, Muhammad Ali's world heavyweight champion of the world, when it caused the greatest upset of the time, he wasn't even allowed to vote. Right?
No, that's something. Yep.
Right. That's something, right? That's what you got to realize. Like, see, so you weren't even allowed to vote, bro. So, and you got to think about it, 1964 to present day, that's not that long ago, you know? When you think about it, that's just the other day. Right?
Yeah.
That's 57 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a long time. So where's the great change been? But yet they still wanted him to go in 1968 to go to war to Vietnam. And he said, no, forget that. So Ali stood up for something. And that's why I love that guy so much, because he stood up for something. And Ali transcended everything because he stayed loyal to his teachings and the knowledge that was given to him. And that's the truth.
Yeah, that's why he's loved and respected to this day. Because people, and then even the people that didn't respect him then, they respect it now because they know, like, hey, you know what? He was right. So a lot of people that get crucified, damn near and nailed to a cross these days, later on, they'll realize, you know what? That person was right, you know, for standing up for something that they believe. So absolutely.
Listen, man, like I said, I just got to tell it how it is. And if you stand up for something, right, then it evokes change, or people could turn on you. Do you remember that? I know you remember Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns' second fight.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? That was June of '89, right? And it was a 12-round draw. Sugar Ray Leonard, being the darling of America, he was appealing to Black America and White America, right? He was that darling kid, right? But people weren't too keen on him because he was, who's that? Young Caesar. Thank you very much. I got mad knowledge on this game, right? Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't endeared to the streets. Do you get what I'm trying to say? He wasn't. But what did Sugar Ray Leonard do? He came in with Amanda, which means power in Swahili, on his trunks. And people said, you know what? People kind of turned on him. Really? Yeah, they did. They kind of turned him. And then he got a draw against Tommy Hearns. They definitely kind of turned on me. Fearon's popularity kind of dipped a little bit after the draw from Tommy Hearns. Like people say, well, you know what, he's just a little sport guy, because people are reverting back to his April 1987 fight with Marvin Hagler, and people still discuss that fight, whether or not he actually won that fight. So it is what it is. What's this guy say? P Big Dog. What's he saying? Just like Wilder stands up for black people. Yeah, he does. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Deontay Wilder stands up for black people. No, Deontay Wilder stands up for a certain kind of black person. Right? Yeah. To his mindset of what he regards. And don't get me twisted. I understand where Deontay Wilder's coming from. I understand it. But here's the difference. Like, when you say just like, Deontay Wilder is no Muhammad Ali. None whatsoever. Right? None. Ali was willing to give up something for his belief. Do you understand that bit? He gave up millions and millions of dollars for his belief. I don't see no other sportsman doing that right now, giving up millions of dollars for their belief.
Right.
Seriously, I don't see that. If I'm saying, well, you're gonna give up this and you're gonna be broke, and you ain't gonna fight, and you ain't gonna fight for 3 years. Name me a next person that went to, you know what I mean, that went to court, that took Uncle Sam, went to court and won. Then you can't tell me that Ali weren't blessed by God, because I ain't gonna have that. That's God. That's God intervening there. A black man at that time? Now you know, because you're an American. Nah, Ali's God. I'm telling you that now. Ali's God. Deontay Wilder said he's better than Mike Tyson. He's meant to say that he's better than Mike Tyson, Shaka. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Deontay Wilder is meant to say that he's better than Mike Tyson. But he's not better than Mike Tyson, because technically, Mike Tyson would have done him. I'm just going to let you know that now. Mike Tyson would have, especially like the Mike Tyson of 1986, was that November 1986, when he beat Trevor Burbank? Where he battered him in no. Not that 20-year-old Mike Tyson. I don't think Deontay Wilder could have handled him. Too much head movement, too much speed as well. People forget how fast he was. Yeah. Nah, mate. He'd have got hurt.
Yeah, I don't think he had the physicality to even keep Mike off of him, the jab or anything. Because the moment, as we've seen in the Tyson Fury fight, the moment Wilder shoots that right and Mike dips, it's over with. Because when he dips, he's going to counter. And when he counters, he's going to break something.
And also, people seem to forget what a good chin Mike Tyson had.
Mm-hmm.
He had such a good chin. What was it? It was February 25th, 1989, when Frank Bruno hit him with the left hook in the first round. Right? And I'm telling you, Frank Bruno could punch. And Mike took it. And at that time, Mike weren't being trained by Kevin Rooney. That was his first fight away from Kevin Rooney. So, you know what? Mike could take it on the chops. I just want you to know that. Mike could really take it on the chops. Very good fight.
And you seen that neck. He had a neck that was, dude, is like a tree trunk, man. You know, the tree trunk neck. So, yeah, he did have that. So, he could take the punch and he could take the licking and keep on ticking.
Yeah. Jim Brown pigmentation only divides the world of boxing. Yes, it does. But it's not just boxing. Pigmentation changes everything and divides everything in the whole world. And we need to start acting as one community. And that is the community of the human race. And if you start behaving like that, and yeah, we've got loads of things. And in cliche, it sounds excellent. Yeah, just be one human race. Yeah, we've got loads and loads of things to overcome. But it's possible. It is so possible. And where the major place where it starts is in the home and how you teach your children. And that's the truth.
Yeah,
I'm teaching my children to love themselves. And I'm teaching my children that the essence of God is within them, not nowhere else. I look on them like no one ain't no better than you. I teach my kids now, nobody's not better than you. No one is not better than you. And people say, well, you're meant to say like, and you're not better than nobody else. No, nobody's not better than you, firstly. And once they get past that and no one's not better than them, then I'm going to teach my children that, and you are not better than nobody else.
Mark Towson or Tosin in his prime would beat all the present day fighters?
I think he meant Mike Tyson.
Okay. Mark?
That's what I think he meant, because I don't know who Toulson is, but yeah, that's what I think. And I think maybe he must have done that.
That's like, okay, knowledge, bring it on me, because I don't know this.
Theory to write the question. So I'm going to give you possibly.
Who do you think could give him a go?
Who, Tyson?
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
I think because of the sheer size of Tyson Fury, I believe Tyson Fury could have given trouble with it, especially if he's using an elongated jab. But I think at the end of the day, I think Mike would have got to Tyson Fury as well. But you know what I mean? The nicest thing is this: is like when the question was asked to when the question was asked to Tyson Fury said, "There's no chance. There's no chance of me beating him." Go on, let me see what's that.
Jonathan Jerome, appreciate the super chat, brother. Appreciate the love. Okay. Umut Sirin, Spencer. Did you read the barbershop boxing named his last video? How can he write that you wash money? Can't you take him to court for that? Oh,
you know what? He's number one is this. If I'm doing foundation work and helping the community, which is well documented, everyone knows that. Just go on my Instagram, you'll see it. I do this every single day. That's my job, right? I don't understand how you're washing money by helping people. He's an idiot. But what happens? I showed Barbershop already the conversation, how it was, and he actually lied and said like, "Oh, he tried to pull me on something." I said, "Oh, well, I've got a black wife," because obviously you're not happy about where you are in your life. Hence why you got to always be running off. And I know that you're a little short dude. You know what I mean? And I know you're a short dude and your wife's Oriental, but yet you're full of this black talk and vigor. Shut up, man. The people like this make me sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do. They make me sick because they're very divisive. And what I've noticed about certain people, it's like, well, how black are you? Do you know what I mean? And you got there's a quota, you got to tick it off. And you know what I mean? You know what I mean? People know what I stand on. You know what I mean? And I stand on truth, but I stand on truth for everyone. So exactly. Shaka's just put Barbershop only attacks black people and he claims to be pro-black with a white wife. Exactly. You know what I mean? Right? Or wherever. And this is the thing about it, it doesn't matter where your wife's come from, but back your talk. Do you know what I mean? It's like me saying like, I'm only down for Jamaicans. I'm only down for Jamaicans. Nowhere Jamaican is. And I'm waving a flag and all the rest of it and say, "Oh, where's your wife from, Spence?" I'm saying my wife's from Scotland. You're gonna say, "Oh, you're way down for Jamaica. What's going on there?" Exactly. This is these hypocrites, and they're not happy with themselves, right?
Yeah.
They're not happy with themselves, and I know for a fact. I'm looking on Barbershop. Listen, I saw him and when he attacked the lady who was with Kenny Porter, right? I know that you're not happy with yourself, bro. You was not happy with Kenny Porter because Kenny Porter stole your girl. And you're meant to be a married man, so behave yourself. You're a married man. I'm just telling you the truth. You're a married man, right? You're
Asian. Or something like
that. His wife's Asian. Asian is still not black, bro. I'm just keeping it real, right? You're there talking about, you know what I mean? You're there talking about all of this black talk, blah 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 blah. But yet the woman that you wanted to marry has no cultural identity to you, and that's the truth. So all of these guys who talk about this black talk, they pick on everybody else to try and disguise. They're not happy with themselves. I'm happy with myself. I'm really, really happy with myself. Happy with my family. Happy with the things that I've accomplished. Happy with the home that I got. Happy with the things that I provide for my family. I'm happy with myself, man. Period. And also, you got to learn. You got to learn that when I'm talking certain things that I'm saying, I'm very, very tongue in cheek, and I joke around a lot. Certain people don't have to understand my humor. It doesn't matter. The people who know me understand my humor, and that's how it goes.
Rolando, thanks for bringing him on here. Great interview with great content. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think Mike Tyson was stronger than Joe Frazier?
Do I think that Mike Tyson was stronger than Joe Frazier?
Right.
No, I think he was sharper than Joe Frazier. It was like, right? He was sharper. His fight with Larry Holmes, what was that? In January 88. January, I think it's 21st or 27th. His fight with Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes, even though he had a short spell, I think he had like 4 weeks to prepare for that fight, right? And he was already on a hiatus of a retirement of 2 years. And Larry Holmes says that the other guys like Ken Norton and like Ernie Shavers punch harder than Mike Tyson. But he said that Mike Tyson, he was sharper and he was awkward. And these are the things that we have to go look at. And Mike Tyson was very, very sharp with his punching. He was a very accurate puncher. I mean, you got to think round 4 it was when he hits Larry Holmes. He hits Larry Holmes with that left hook, right hand. It was horrible, man. Horrible.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
As cool as it is.
Right.
That Blues Boxing.
What's that?
Blues Boxing. He says, you see that? He's having a dig at the LDBC.
The microphones for super chats.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that nobody shouldn't be having a dig at the LDBC because they are what they are. I understand what they are. And I understand what they were spawned from, where they came from. But what I'm saying is, it still seems that they are derived from the hate that they've received in the past. And it's all just coming out. You know what I mean? That's what I would say with these guys. You know what I mean? That's what I would say with these guys. It's the hate that's come out and it's spewed the hate onto these guys where they shouldn't be, you know what I mean? They shouldn't be spewing. And like I said, there's a couple guys on there who are very, very sensible. The guys who I know are sensible, really sensible, more than anybody is Boxing Blue Bloods. He's a very, very sensible human being, always supported what I'm doing. I've helped him in the past. I've also helped True Boxing, but it's like they're on some hype thing. But they're on some hype thing when they're on the screen. What you get of me on the screen, this is the real me. It's not no hidden agendas or anything else. I'm that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Top 5 boxers of all time.
It changes all the time, but I would say it's kind of difficult because mine does change. My top 5 changes a lot. I would say Willie Pep, number 1.
Okay.
That white Italian dude is number 1. Then I've got Ray Robinson. Then I've got Ali at number 3. Sorry, I've got Ali at number 4. Then I've got Roberto Duran. I've got Ali at number 4, and maybe Floyd Mayweather at number 5.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Now, Miles, Crocott, could the Wilder channels be held accountable if something happened to Breland as he is getting threats? They're the ones who are creating the narrative.
You got a good point. Because it's like I speak to a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And some guys on there. This Andre Rodriguez. You don't need to click it up. Andre, no, I would say like Willie Pep. When we're talking about Harry Greb, the only reason why I have to go against Harry Greb is because there is no film footage of Harry Greb, who was the former middleweight champion. I think it was 1927 that he got beat by, oh man, the first Southpaw world champion, Tiger Flowers, right? So I can't put him in there because I haven't seen no film footage of him. We read stories and things about him, but I haven't seen nothing. I mean, big up Lady Shan, my sister from another mister. Yeah, I mean, you're phoning me, and I'm on the team with my man. Come on,
man. Yeah. I'm gonna actually jump on our show after we wrap up or whatnot. So I'm gonna go on over there. But yeah, that was a very good question, because if he's getting threats, that's not cool. And then they're creating those things. They could be a possible link to those things, so I would be careful on that.
Well, you know what? He's getting threats, and that's wrong. You know what I mean? That's wrong. That's wrong. But this is what I'm trying to say. There is this little cult section of people that idolize and love Deontay Wilder, and I get where they're getting it from, right? I get it. You know what I mean? Big up Sterling, my guy. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, when Mark Breland's getting all of these kind of threats and all the rest of it, and it's the truth that these guys are the ones that perpetuate it. They're perpetuating so much. And it's like, oh yeah, this is the next thing. If somebody drugs you, right? If you've been drugged, what happens is this. After you've been drugged, right? You're still fighting, and you've got the Wilder testing of the Worldwide Anti-Doping Association that tests you. So if you've been drugged, they're gonna know that something was in you.
Right.
But nothing was in Deontay Wilder. What kind of super drug did they give him?
Well, I can speak for experience, man. I was in a club maybe 12, 13 years ago, and I got drugged.
I don't want to know what you used to do to pull girls. Come on.
No. Actually, this was one of those situations where somebody put a Mickey in my drink, and I woke up in the hospital. And then they, I was like, okay, well, what the hell was it? And then they came up. It was like these, whatever the substances were that was in the what it was ever in the Mickey. So that's right. That's so
somebody gave you a drug that could only stay in your body for an hour.
I don't think so.
That's what Deontay Wilder's. That's what Deontay Wilder's saying. That he can only stay in your body for an hour. Then, yeah.
Well, hell, it wasn't a full hour then.
Exactly. I'm telling them guys.
He couldn't have went a whole hour.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Lady Shan just sent me a message. So you guys jump onto Lady Shan's channel now. Because like Kurt's meant to be on it. She just said, Kurt's meant to be on my team. And so I'm holding up Kurt. I'd love to speak to you guys a lot more. You want to hear more boxing knowledge? Spencer, the knowledge Fearon is highly knowledgeable individual. Who's this? Sammy Ali. Thank you very much, Sammy. The individuals know the sport, yet people are claiming otherwise. Listen, man, I don't care what people want to say. Listen, as you can see, I can talk boxing. I have no box rep beside me. I have I studied this game too much. I've studied this game. I've really, really studied this game. You know what I mean? And before I go, Baron von Zantan says, who would have win out of Muhammad Ali 1967 versus the 1988 Mike Tyson? The 1988 Mike Tyson, his best win was, I think it was it June 27th? June 27th versus Michael Spinks, the 91 seconds debacle, right? Michael Spinks is one of my greatest fighters of all time, my favorite fighter. I love him to bits, right? But no one went beating the Ali of 1967, sorry. No one went beating that guy. You know what I mean? The guy, I think one of Ali's best performances was that year.
Too.
That was an incredible performance. So I'd have to pick Ali to win that. Anyway, I'm not going to keep you because I know you got to jump on the other thing. So big up Lady Shan, big up everyone on side of it. Like I said, I appreciate every single person on here. Whether we said good comments or bad comments, I don't business. Keep on calling my name. You're giving me energy and you're helping. You're giving me helium to make my balloon rise even higher. So peace, two fingers. I'm out.
All right, brother. Take care. We'll see you on the next time. And everybody on the chat, be safe. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.